Have you ever tried to start a habit or break a bad one? For a few weeks, you're doing great, but then you kind of slowly fall right back into the same routine. Most people think they fail because they lack discipline, but honestly, that's usually not the real problem. The real problem is way simpler than that. Most people genuinely want to improve their lives. They want to read more, work out more, waste less time. But the reality is a few weeks later, nothing sticks. And generally, it's not because they're lazy, but it's because they don't have a system. They don't have a good system that works for them. And for the longest time, that was me. I was the exact same way. I would set a goal, get motivated, start strong, and then eventually drift right back to where I started, time and time again. And here's the thing. At some point, I realized something simple. Something had to change, and it couldn't be that complicated. You can't fix what you don't understand. And you can't understand your habits if you don't track them. Which leads me to my main point of this entire video. You can't improve what you don't track. I'll say it again. You can't improve on what you don't track. And the systems I use, honestly, super simple. Every day, there's a list of habits. I track them in a small notebook. Personally, I use this small notebook from Field Notes. You can use any notebook that will work. But inside the notebook, I write down a few habits. There's probably 10 to 15 of them that matter to me. They can be good habits and bad habits. And each day, right before I close my eyes, right before I go to sleep, I take an inventory of the day and I simply check off whether I did them or not. That's it. No complicated apps, no elaborate systems, just a notebook. A small notebook in a couple minutes each day will completely change your life in tracking your habits and making sure you're doing the habits that you want to do and that you are not doing the habits that you do not want to do. It's that simple. Now there's 3 specific reasons as to why this works, but before I share those, let me quickly show you how I set up my habit tracker, and I'll set one up for you real quick. Here we go. To start us off here, I counted 3 over from the left and 5 down from the top, drew a line all the way to the bottom, and then I marked Monday through Sunday twice. So that should be good for 2 weeks. And here is where you're going to put the habits that you want to track. All right, so as I'm looking at my habit tracker before I go to sleep, I always pull this out, or you can do it throughout the day as you accomplish these things, but I like to do it just once a day. It takes me 2 minutes. I just go through the day in my mind. So then I count these up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I just put a 9 right here on the right-hand side. All right, guys, now that you have a completed 2-week stint, before I start my other one, I like to reflect on the last 2 weeks, and I will create a chart over here that will show me visually. Let me bring one up right here. That will show me visually, flip this around, kind of what my 2 weeks looked like. And this does help me, lets me know where I'm lacking, lets me know what days of the week I'm doing better on, and it gives me an idea for the next 2 weeks of kind of what days to look out for. So let me fill that out and show you how I do that. And then what I'm going to do here is just what I did over here. I'm going to write out Monday through Sunday twice. Okay, now that we have Monday through Sunday written out twice, I'm going to come over here on the left-hand side and I'm going to write some numbers. Starting on this side, I'm going to come back over here and it's Monday and I see a 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in the middle of the column. I'm going to find 9. So we have 8 and 10. And so in the middle of that would be 9. And I'm going to write a little dot. I'm going to go on to the next one. And then once you plotted everything out, moving from left to right, the first week did okay. Everything was fairly consistent. Second week did really well. Dropped down, kind of recovered over here. And unfortunately, I ended the week on a low. So that's something to keep in mind for the next 2 weeks. Now you can connect them. You don't have to, but this generally kind of gives me the idea of what it looks like visually of the last 2 weeks. And it's important to do this to reflect on the previous week moving forward so you don't create the same mistakes and try to create consistency over the next couple weeks. Okay guys, now that I've showed you how I set up my habit tracker, let's talk about the 3 main reasons why it's important to track your habits in the first place. The first thing, awareness. When you start tracking your habits, you take the guesswork out of your behavior. A lot of people think they're being consistent They think they're being honest. But when you actually start writing things down, and you have to write them down on paper, you realize the truth pretty quickly. Number 2, the second thing is accountability. And this isn't exactly accountability with someone else. It's more accountability with yourself. When you see those pages every single day, it reminds you of something. It reminds you of who you said you wanted to become, the better version of yourself you wanted to be, the better version of yourself you're striving for, that we're all striving for. And the thing is, even if no one ever sees your habit tracker, even if no one sees your notebook, you see it. And that's what matters. So next time you think to yourself, I want to do fill in the blank, whatever it is, instead of knowing deep down that you probably won't do it, you probably won't follow through, you'll probably come up with some sort of excuse, now you'll begin to believe in yourself. And instead of inner doubt, you'll trust yourself. You'll cheer yourself on to accomplish more and more goals. You'll start believing in yourself again. And instead of doubting yourself, through habit tracking, you've created trust in yourself again. You can believe in yourself. This creates accountability with yourself. That's number 2. Number 3, the third thing is momentum. After a few weeks of habit tracking, you can literally see your consistency building upon itself. And it's super cool to see that. You can see the good days, the consistent days, and you can see the bad days. And that's okay to see the bad days. So if you notice yourself slipping in a certain area or with a certain habit, you can make sure or go out of your way the next day to get it done and to be sure that you get it done and to not continue on the current negative trajectory that you're on. That awareness alone can change a lot over time. And the more you track your habits, the easier and easier it gets. The habits you master will become second nature, and one day may not even need to be tracked. Here's my challenge for you. Find a notebook and write down 3 habits that you want to improve upon. Just 3, not 5, not 10, not 20, just 3. All of us could think of 3 things that we want to improve upon. So think of 3 things. That could be drinking more water, taking your vitamins, going on a walk outside, anything. 3 things. Write them in your journal, track them every day for 2 weeks. Okay, should be 14 days. Track them for 2 weeks. Don't overthink it. Just start. If you've made it to the end of this video, wow, sincerely, thank you. Before you watch another video, a couple things. 1, find a notebook and pen and write down those 3 things. You can even leave a comment below of what your 3 habits were that you chose. 2, there is a ton of time, money, and effort that goes into these videos. Please consider liking and subscribing. And 3, if this video has even remotely been helpful for you, please consider sending it to someone who's also trying to build better habits, because a little accountability and encouragement can go a long way. Thank you guys. See you guys in the next one. And don't forget, stay humble. See you guys. Oh, wow. It's time for bed.